Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land today? Hope this finds you well. I'm working on the quilt pattern veneer piece that we started yesterday. This is part 2 of the video. Now, what I have done is I took my board and I painted it. I painted it a chocolate brown because I thought that if there is any little discrepancies where the wood fits together, and there's bound to be, I didn't want just the old board showing through here. I wanted there to be some color to it. So I did that, and then what I did is I took my chalk marker. You can get these online a lot of places. A lot of craft stores and art stores carry these. It's called a chalk marker. And I took my straight edge and I found the middle of all 4 of the sides. And then I drew a line, top to bottom, side to side. That defines exactly where your center is. Then I did a diagonal from corner to corner and corner to corner, so that I've got a grid laid out here to know where to lay my pieces. Now, we know that we're going to start with one of these squares in the center. We're turning it into a diamond by setting it on edge. And we want the points to be on the lines, just like this. You see how we did that? Now, it's got to be glued down. And I was thinking of using E6000, but then last night it was like a little bubble came on over my head. You know, it's one of them slap yourself in the head moments. Could have had a V8. I thought, what the heck do you want to use E6000 for? It's wood. Use wood glue. So that's what I did. I got out my bottle of wood glue, and this is just regular old Elmer's wood glue. That's what we're going to put it down with. If this was like laminate on a countertop or something where it was going to be used constantly, that would be a different story. Now, you'd need to use some good wood cement type stuff to do that. But this is just something that's going to hang on the wall as a piece of art, and it doesn't need to have cement used to it. Now, you take a look at your piece, and you see which one you want to be the back and which one you want to be the front. Now, I used ink to mark my squares out with, and every once in a while you see just a smidge of ink around the edges of it. So that's got to go to the back. So we're going to put some glue down. That's probably enough to do the whole doggone piece with, but we're going to do that. Let me get a piece of paper towel over here because I know I'm going to need that. And let's see here. Trying to figure out what I want to use. I think I'll just use a palette knife to spread this. And it's just like buttering a piece of toast. When you lay your paint down or your glue down, you just spread it clear out to the edges. And be careful at the edges of it. Don't rough them up, because this is a wood veneer. It's thin, and the pieces will chip. As far as cutting the veneer, I learned a couple things about that yesterday as I was cutting out the pieces of veneer. I learned that the utility knife is not necessarily the best way to do it. If you use some good sharp scissors and you watch your pace, you can't go at it too fast, and you can't go at it too slow. You have to watch the pace on cutting the veneer. And if you do it just right, you'll have minimal chip. However, some pieces of veneer, I mean, not all veneer is created equally. Some pieces are a little thicker than others. And so you have to just kind of play with it a little bit and figure out what's the best way to go at cutting it. But I cut all of it with scissors. Now, some of it chipped out a little bit, and some of it didn't. And now, if I got too much on there, I'm going to scrape some off. And I'm going to set my little knife aside here. And I'm going to take my piece, figure out exactly where I want it down here. And then I'm going to press it in real good. We may not get all these pieces laid in today because it's going to have to be pressed down. As a matter of fact, even after I do this, I'm going to set something heavy on it. A big heavy book or something and weight it down to keep these pieces good and flat so that the glue really attaches them down. That's why I said yesterday, this is going to be a piece that's going to take a while to accomplish. I don't think it's going to be, you know, 2 or even 3 sittings. It may take all week to do this piece, but it's going to take as long as it takes. You can't rush art. Just keep pressing it down because it has a tendency to want to curl up with that glue on it, and we don't want it curling. Matter of fact, I'm even going to take a can of paint, sit there on the corner of it. Keep pressing it in. Now, if this comes out the way I pictured it in my mind's eye, it's really going to be pretty. But this is, you're watching the process at work here of something that I've had in my head for a while now. And I finally got everything gathered up to be able to do it. And we're even going to sit some more paint on these 2 corners to keep them weighted down on there, keep it from curling. Just move them all 4 in tight. Hold that piece down. Now, I also did 2 other pieces. Remember, I did the rectangle piece, and I did the little squares. And the next pieces that's going to go in is going to be the rectangles. And I'm going to pick out 4 of them here. I want like 4 different colors because I want this to be kind of colorful, you know. I don't want it to be just an old boring piece. And we're going to butter one of them up with a little glue. And there it is. There's your piece. And I put some glue on it. And we're just going to rub that glue all the way to the edges. Get it all the way out there. On all 4 sides of it. Making sure to get it to the edges. All right, now I'm going to pull a couple paint cans off here. Now, as a matter of fact, take them all 4 off. See, it's still trying to pull up. I may have to put a little more glue underneath there. We're going to lay one of these down to begin with here, right along the side. Just like that. Let's just squirt some glue under there. And if the glue squirts out, we'll just have to wipe it up. That's one more reason I wanted paper towels out here. That corner's trying to curl too. See, now this is a good how-to for you to see, okay, what goes on? What do we have to try to correct here? So when you do it, maybe your mileage may vary and you don't have the issues that I'm having. Because this is the first time I've tried to do this. This is just something that has gone on in my head that I wanted to do for a while. I'm not going to rush this process. It's going to take however long it takes to do it. And I was thinking that maybe I need to take my bone folder and really press that in. Just burnish it down. Same thing with this one. Just move the paint a minute. I may have to go to E6000 or something stronger than wood glue. Keep it from curling. See, even this piece is wanting to curl up on the edge. So I'm not putting no more down until I know that I've got this working here. Stay down. Just hold it until it decides to get tacky. Now, some people might say, well, what does it matter if it curls up a little bit on the edge as long as the middle of it's down? Well, it matters because it'll cast a shadow. You know, see, this is sticking up a little bit here, and it'll cast a shadow on the rest of the piece, and that's going to detract from the beauty that I'm trying to create here. So we want it flat. Now, set that back on there. We'll go at this corner. Come on. The problem I see with a lot of videos that go up on the internet is they don't show you the entire process. You know, they just show you the highlights of the project. They need to show you every bit of it so that you know exactly what you're getting into. And that's what I'm trying to do. And a lot of people don't want to watch the whole process, though. You know, they just want to see, oh, well, isn't that nice? Well, look what they're doing. And didn't it turn out pretty, and turn it off. If you want to be an artist, if you really want to know how the stuff goes together, you need to see the entire process of it. The stuff doesn't just come together in 5 minutes. It takes a while to process it. And anybody that is an artist of any description, maker, artist, whatever you want to call yourself, you know the frustration of making beautiful pieces and knowing how much time and effort that it took, and the materials and stuff that you had to put into the piece, and then going to the show and setting your pieces out. And people take a look at it and think it's highway robbery because they don't understand the process. They don't know what it takes to put this stuff together and go through the entire process. because nobody actually shows them. They see the 5-minute quickie version, and they think that's all you did. Now see, this is 2 pieces, and I've been at this, what, 20 minutes just trying to put 2 pieces down. Now, I may not have the whole video up here showing you every piece that I put into this. I may do a lot of this behind the scenes, but here we're just getting started with it, and I'm trying to show you that it takes a while to really get it in there the way you want it in. Don't rush the process. Don't say, oh, well, we're going to just slap some glue on this and slap it down here. You know, you got to make sure you get your corners even. You got to make sure that you get your piece down good and flat, because you don't want it flaking up off of there. Now, one thing that I was thinking about doing, and I may very well do this, once I get the entire piece laid out and glued down and get it the way I want it, I may resin the whole thing. I think that would really look fantastic. That's what's going on in my mind's eye. Get it all glued down good and tight, and then come back over the top of it with some ice resin. I mean, I know I'm kind of known as being the queen of Krylon, but hey, do not sell ice resin short. On the right project, that ice resin really looks cool. On this, I think might be just the right project. Ice resin isn't right for just everything. Ooh, goodness. My piece flipped a little bit on me. I'm getting glue everywhere. Let me double check this piece. Yeah, I think it's the right side to put that on. Nice coat of glue on there. I would like to get the first 9 squares down, or 9 pieces down, and then put weights on it. And let it sit for a while before I mess with it again. And it could be that I'm not going to stop it from curling. I mean, you know, that it may curl whether I like it or not. Because sometimes the project does what the project's going to do. And there's nothing you're going to be able to do to stop it from doing what it wants to do. But I'm going to try my best. I'm even thinking that I can take a little bit of glue here off to the side on my mat and get it on a paintbrush. Come in underneath the edges here that's wanting to stick up. Put some more glue down. If the board gets messy, I don't care, because the board is going to be covered before this is said and done. But you don't want it, you know, glooped up with glue either, because you still have pieces to lay down on there, and you don't want the glue causing problems. The board needs to be flat. Now, set that back there. I'm going to turn the board a little bit because I want to work on another side here. And let's see if we can get the camera turned enough that you can see what I'm doing. Oh, come on, Mr. Camera. do what I want you to do here. Okay. Now this is the side right here I want to work on next. And I want to come in with this one. I believe that'll fit right up there pretty tight on that. Maybe turn it this way. No, I'm not pleased. I'm not pleased. Get a different one. That one's not pleasing me either. Let's try. Let's try that. That looks good. Okay. Let's pull some glue up. Yeah, that's not enough glue to do nothing with. Get some glue down on there. I'm just going to rub that out to the edges. Make sure we get a good coating of glue on it. I'd rather have glue squeezing out than the sides rolling up. And the sides are probably going to roll up regardless, but it's not going to be because it don't have enough glue on it. Now, I'm sure that some of you watching this that work with wood all the time is going to say, well, your problem was using the wood glue and you should have used, and you're going to name off something, and that's fine. I mean, you're welcome to throw it out there and give me suggestions, but I'm working with what I have available. It's this or E6000, I think, for me. So I don't think I've got anything else up here that would be suitable. See, when you rub around on it, you got to make sure you don't rub it out of whack. You want it right in there where it's supposed to go. This is different than when you're using fabric to do a quilt, because A, you're not doing seam allowances. B, you have a medium here that is not forgiving. Fabric can be far more forgiving. It has give to it. Now, I'm going to take that off of there and that off of there. Enough to move this around a minute and get the fourth side. We've got 3 sides of it. And who knows, when I take these cans off after a while, it might just be popping up all over the place, and I may say, hey, got to start over. And I may have to go back at it with E6000 or something. But side number 4. Let me get this here where you can see it. There. That works. Side number 4. And let's see, I haven't really used a light colored one in there, so let's do that. Hands are getting coated with glue. which is to be expected when you're working on a project like this, but hey. Did you say the edges of it cut pretty good? Once in a while you got one that wanted to chip out and give you problems. And that's to be expected because of the medium that we're dealing with. Even the ones that wanted to chip out, though, I saved those because I'm thinking, well, if we go clear to the edges, some of that's going to be cut off. So, you know, we'll even save the rough ones. And even if I don't use them in this project, I'll use them in another one. I think veneer is a really cool product and medium to do artwork with. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with it. Now, get it right to the corners. Lay it in there. Paper towel, wipe it off. Now, even on the seams of it, see if we can move this back a little bit. Even on these seams, I can come in with just a little light sandpaper on those if there's glue showing on that and sand it down a little bit. So I'm not going to get real excited about that. I've got some real lightweight sandpaper, some triple aught steel wool. You know, I've got some things that I can use on that if I need to. Any place that's wanting to curl, I'm trying to get weights on it to weight it down. Oh, I got four corners to put in that yet. And that's where I think I'm probably going to stop with this one for today and just let those let the glue set up for a while, check it later and see how it's doing. And then I may lay in a little bit more before we come back to another video and show you what I did and how I did it. But right now I'm thinking this looks pretty doggone good for what it is. Now, we got that much of it down, sort of. And I might have to squirt some more stuff in or E6000 it or something, but now I wanted to check these corners here because we want to come in and put corners at each one of these. Something that is a little different color than what is actually on there. Okay, do that and do that. And then that. That one's not cooperating. Maybe over here. Yeah, it likes that side. Okay. And you'll notice my wood grains are going different directions. I don't want anything just matching up. It's supposed to look like a quilt. And a quilt, the pieces, at least in the old quilts, went all different directions. They didn't necessarily match up. So that's what we're wanting to do right there. That's the plan. So let's go ahead and butter them up, get them down, and get this thing weighted. I'll probably just sit some paint cans on there, and then on top of that, I'll put some books and clear to the corners, all the way out to the edge. Okay. Right like that. And even doing this many pieces all at once is probably really pushing the limit on what should be done with this, since the pieces are small and so much glue being used. But Here you go. There again, I don't know that I'm that excited about that piece. Let's try something else here. These little squares. That one's got a little tag on the corner of it. See that? Cut that little tag off of it. There. Nice square little corner. I think that'll go right in there. Put some glue on it. Smear it all around here. Oops. Getting everything from the side of my desk drug over here. All right. Get some of this glue off my fingers so I stop sticking to the project. Well, glue's making her slide. Come on. Tacky and stick in there. I'll just use this opportunity while I'm sitting here trying to get glue to dry. Tell you to check out all my URLs there in the description of the video for the Patreon and the Etsy store and Twitch. I do shows over on Twitch. I'm switching it up over on Twitch. I'm going to do a live on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. We're going to see how that works out. And then here, I'm going to keep things the same right now on YouTube. But here in a few weeks, I'm probably going to switch it up a little bit on what I do on YouTube too, because spring is coming and there's things that has to be done around here. Spring cleaning and gardening and trying to move the studio around and a lot of things that I've got to do. So that leaves less time for doing videos, but we'll do as much as we can when we can. We'll just see how things work out here for a week or so. Okay, now spin this around. See how that's curling up? It can't be doing that. We can't have that. That one's supposed to be glued down and it's popping right back up. Ooh, giving me grief. Put a little more glue down here on the board. If they continue to want to pop up after I have weighted them, then we're going to have to do something different with glue. That's all I can say. There's always epoxy too. I've got some of that here. I wouldn't think I'd have to go that far. But if I do, I'll do her. Okay, that seems to be in there good, that one. But these corners popping up. And there again, it may just be that the corners are going to pop up and there ain't a dead burn thing I'll be able to do about it. Oh, for goodness sakes. Okay. Sit over there then. Butter it up. Lay it in. I think I got one more corner that I need to do. Turn this around a little bit here to get to it. Yep. Got that one to glue. Put a little more glue under the edge of this. And we'll butter this up. All the way to the edges. Stick it in there like that. Okay, now, what I'm going to do right here, right now. Rat. Press it all down, just like that. And I've got some books over here. I'll take some books and put a big old cookbook. Set on there just like that. Set paint on top of it, just like this. And then I'm just going to leave that sit for a while. I'm going to clean up my mess. And then I'll come back and look at it after a bit, and we'll see how it's setting up. Get all my junk off my desk here. Clean up my glue mess that I made. There we go. Now I got a brush that I got to wash out so it don't sit up hard with glue. And with all that being done, there you are. I will see you back here tomorrow, and we'll see how far I have progressed with this. Hopefully I've made a little more leeway on here and got some more pieces down on it and figured out exactly what I'm doing with the glue. So I will inform you tomorrow on my progress. With all that being said, there's only one thing left to say, and that's Brenda's Crafty. Be like Brenda.